You may have seen this photo before in one of my videos. This is some guy that was wanting to get my autograph, so I stopped for a minute and posed for a picture and gave him my autograph. He said, "John, you're the best 9-ball player I've ever seen." Yeah, that's not right, folks. This is the famous Buddy Hall, perhaps the world's greatest 9-ball player ever. If not, he's up there. Is that J.O.B. Billiard Club in Nashville, Tennessee. Charlie took this picture because he knows that Buddy's my favorite all-time player. Yeah. He was just sitting there at the bar. I'm like, "Hey, Buddy, you got a second?" He's a good guy and a great player, perhaps the best money player ever. In fact, I think I would gamble on that. Yeah, I'd bet on that. Who's the best money player in the world of pool ever? Yeah, well, maybe not one pocket. 9-ball. All right, there you go. My bet is placed if anybody wants to cover. For the next, for the past week, I've been having my mouth drilled on and cut on and pulled on and poked at, and I'm going through a whole bunch of dental surgery to finally look like the movie star that I am. Yeah, I just, right now I don't want you guys to see me because I look like a homeless old man who has gotten the hell beat out of him. Yeah, I look terrible. I don't want you guys to see me. I'm too vain. I can play pool with my mouth closed and never say anything so nobody sees my teeth, but I can't do that with a video. Yeah, unfortunately when I talk my teeth show, and I really am humiliated by the way I look. So that's why I'm doing this intro without showing myself. I hope that's fine with you guys. But let's get on with it, man. Here we go. The second that this game starts rolling, my opponent, the famous Gary Stevens, walks into the room, and we'll be matching up later tonight, but I decided to be a little bit of a smartass and tell him I wasn't playing and that I retired, and we'll rerun that loop with the audio on, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. Let's look at this table. Here's the cue ball. There's the 1 ball, the 1 to the 2, the 2 to the 3, the 3 to the 4, the 4 to the 5, 5 to the 6, 6 to the 7, 7 to the 8, and the 8 to the 9. A little bit of back and forth to begin with, but the last 4 balls, the 6, 7, 8, and 9, you can pretty much call in the center of the table. So the first half of the game will be moving the cue ball a lot, and the second half of the game shouldn't be moving the cue ball too much, unless I get out of line, and we'll see what happens here. We're starting out with a combination, the 1 into the 5, and because of all the clogged up, center of the table issue going on here, it's best to shoot this 2 ball down here and just stay away from the crowd. You don't want to move the cue ball through this mess. So just bank on shooting that 2 ball in the corner. And I know it seems natural to shoot it in the side, and we can do that if we get in trouble. And we have to maneuver around these balls, but it's best not to. So let's go ahead and start rolling here. Yeah, and under that table is Paul Smitty. He's marking the tables because the table mechanic is coming back and he's going to dial them in. Because every time you set up a pool table, it settles, and it takes a week or 2 to settle, and then they have to redial in. So he's coming back to do that. So Paul's going to make sure that he does everything that needs to be done, and that's what he's doing under there. In the table. I don't want you to think he's dead or anything under there. So here he comes up out of there, and here's a combination, 1 into the 5, and the trick with that shot is to keep the 1 right in front of the pocket. You don't want to shoot that too hard because the one will get away from you, and then you're either going to have a hard shot or you're going to have a difficult time getting back on this 2 to get in a decent position on the 3. So here comes Gary, and we'll loop this part of the video in a minute. So let's get to the 2 and get settled down. And I bounced a little bit hard off this rail, and now we have a little bit of a funky angle to shoot this in the 2, but we have to at this point. You don't want to cut this ball in the side because then you're going back through all this traffic to get back on the 3. So let's go ahead and loop it and turn up the volume and share the conversation with the crowd.
Yeah.
I quit. I ain't playing.
Huh? Ain't saying. Hey, what's up, Paul?
I retired. Okay, enough of the nonsense. Welcome, Gary. Let's match up. As soon as I get done this rack, I'll go out and smoke a cigarette and hold warm up. And when I get back in the building, we'll be going for it. So yeah, you just want to draw back a little bit on this 2, shoot the 2 on the side and get on this 3 for a shot on the side, but it's still going to be tricky to get on this 4, so you want to go a little bit long on this 3 so you can come down here and get back on the 4. Again, you don't want to go through all this traffic to get back on the 4. Now there is a pathway if you get perfect on the 3 to bounce up off this side rail. But a lot can go wrong here, so we're just setting it up for a cut shot to get back down at the bottom of the table on that 4. And you can see I drew it back a little too much. The tablecloth really grabbed that ball and sent it back up table too far. But I'm looking at can I skim this 3 and avoid this 8 ball? That's the problem. So we're going to cut this 3 in the side and try to avoid the 8 ball and just bounce up for this 4 ball. Now the 5's already down because we made the 1-5 combination. So it's from the 4 to the 6, and here's the best way to do it. So I'm deciding, yeah, I can avoid that 8. You just don't want to draw that too much because you don't want to, actually you don't want to draw at all, because you're going to draw it right into the corner. And take a look at all the left-hand English I'm putting on this cue ball. I'm putting a lot. You can see it right there. It's a good shot on how much English I'm using on this picture. And you can do it. You can just bounce off the end rail or come back and swing it and spin it into this side rail. And the objective here is all about avoiding the 8 ball. Now, some people would try to draw this into this rail here, but on this table, that shot is going to get away from you, and the cue ball is going to skid after, if you draw it, the cue ball will skid after hitting the 3, and the draw won't take up, won't grab hold until it's too late, and you're going to hit the 8. Now, there's a chance that even if you hit the 8 here, you should bounce off into position on the 4, but you can't count on that. This is why you never want to hit other balls than the ones you're intending to hit or move or pocket or whatever. Just leave sleeping dogs lie, as they say. So let's continue here. We're just going down to that bottom rail, and we did get around that 8 ball. And although we're stuck on the rail, it was a good shot, and we have a decent shot on the 8. And a lot of guys would try to get too fancy here and put a lot of right-hand English and bounce off this rail to get back into this position for a shot on the 6 to shoot it in this corner. And all that is unnecessary, and that's a good example of amateur players just moving the cue ball too much. The natural angle here, you have to put top on it because you can't see the center of the ball. So, but all you got to do is just ease it up into position for a shot in the side on this 6 ball. So you're shooting the 6 in this side pocket right here, And there's no sense in taking a chance of going long, hitting the 9 ball, hitting the 8 ball, when you have the table wide open to shoot this 6 ball in the side. So it's just a matter of keeping a good stroke on this ball, and you don't want to jump up or twist anything. And there you go, just roll it behind that 6, and we're straight in pretty much. So all we have to do is roll up for a shot on the 7 ball in the side. And we're good to go. Now, how would you run the rest of these 3 balls? That's the question. Can you predict what I'm about to do? You don't want to take a chance of the cue ball going down table and getting away from you. And I'll leave it at that. Let's go ahead and roll the whole game uninterrupted with no commentary from the 1 through the 9 ball.